Can I give a momentary rant? Can I go all the
Hmm.
way back to the beginning?
You can go right back.
Okay.
We can keep this on record or off
Oh,
record if
this
you
can go
change your
right on
mind.
record, please.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh, the main issue that I have with Spotify and with everything that's happening right now, not only in the music industry, but in the world, is how are we participating in our own devaluation, right? And so as a musician, I have watched from when Apple said songs are going to be 99 cents each. Albums are going to cost 9.99. And I remember there were a lot of conversations within labels that said, "Wait, why are they dictating what music is worth? We should be the ones determining the prices." And Apple said, "Well, you're either in or you're out, you know. Do you want us to sell your music? Do you want this stream of revenue or not?" And everybody was like, "Okay, I guess we'll take it." And Apple was like, "Well, we can always renegotiate this later." Well, it never got renegotiated. And then DSPs came up and you had people like Spotify of course was like, "Well, we can't really afford to pay that much because we don't have a ton of users yet, but once we get users, we're going to increase those pays per stream." Never fucking happened. It was the same thing with Pandora and internet radio. And I remember going to see the CEO of Pandora speak in like 2008 or 9. And he basically was like, "Well, we can't really afford to pay people that much because we wouldn't be able to afford, to pay for the people who are making this platform run." Meanwhile, this guy was bragging about having the most expensive hamburger he ever had on a rooftop at a restaurant in San Francisco and saying, artists should get used to making money selling t-shirts on tour and not selling music. This is just
Wow.
how they're going to make music. And I wanted to run up and literally just like put my hands around this guy's neck. He was making me so angry. I actually stood up.
You could have turned him into a
I
hamburger.
could have turned him into a hamburger. I raised my hand and I was sitting next to Saddle Creek, my record label, in the audience, and they saw my hand jut up and they all just sunk down in their seats like that. And I was like, "Hi, I'm a musician. I tour. I want to ask you, like, why you think that this is okay? Like, what if we asked you that we told you that as CEO of your tech company that you weren't going to be able to make money by creating this tech and putting all this money into making this platform work, but you were going to have to go on the road and leave your family for months at a time and figure out how to design and produce and sell t-shirts, and that's how you're going to make money." Like, can you think about how insane that sounds, right? So we as artists have been subject to this systematic devaluation of ourselves, of our art, and of art and music itself. And that's the thing that makes me so angry, which is like art and medicine are this incredibly powerful energy that we need as humans to survive and to revolutionize, like this is our fucking power. And I'm not letting some asshat named Daniel Eck take it away from me or anybody else.
There are a lot of people who are very outwardly political, very outspoken about Trump, very outspoken about what's happening in Gaza, but completely silent on the platforms within which they exist upon, the economic models within which they get paid. Like, where are they? When are they going to show up? And why aren't they showing up?
I like to think that the reason that certain artists are not seeing this part of the puzzle is because A, they believe that the platform is necessary to communicate their message to people, that the music is the most important thing. And I maybe they believe that we all participate in a little bit of harm every day. And so the good that music brings on the platform is better than the harm that the platform enacts. I disagree with that. Again, participation is perpetuation. I also think that there's a little bit of the, in survival, what is it? The four F's. You have fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. And I think that there's still this like fawning that people are doing in music and celebrity culture by believing that if you, it's tied to your own survival, right? So you say, "Oh, if I stay on Spotify, I can still communicate with my fans. I can still get paid the stream of income." And for some people, it's not small, you know?
Yeah.
I was talking to Saddle Creek, my record label, when I told them I wanted to take all my music off, and they said, we support you 100%. And also, we are afraid of what would happen if all of our artists decided to delete their music. And I said, okay, but I'm not saying let's lose that stream of income altogether. I'm saying let's try to move people to a more ethical streaming platform, by the way, which will pay more than you're currently getting
Yeah.
paid by Spotify. So everybody needs to get out of this fear mindset, right? It is, and this is the problem with music in general. You and I have talked about this, which is somehow the film industry has learned to work communally. There are unions in the film
Mm.
industry. And in music, everybody's still in this like cutthroat mindset of like, oh, there's only a little, there's enough over here. We all have to fight for the little crumbs to get our way to the top, which is just a pile of crumbs. It doesn't make any
Mm.
sense. And so if we could figure out how to actually come together and work together collectively for our collective betterment, and collective survival, we're all going to come out a lot stronger. I hope that there are artists, I won't name names because there are artists who I genuinely appreciate for the ways in which they are being very, very outspoken about Gaza and a lot of other important human rights issues. And I hope that they will come around and see that this is a piece in that storytelling that they can just add. They can add to
Yeah.
what they're offering. So I'm just saying, like, come on, everybody who's listening, the water's fine.
Mm.
It'll get even better the more people who come over.